देखिए मैं बोर्ड पर कर रहा हूँ आगे जा। हाँ, तिब्बतन नेशनल अपराइजिंग डे पिलर पर अभी आपको फ्रेम में दिख रहा होगा, दिख रहा है फ्रेम में? नेशनल अपराइजिंग डे, अपराइजिंग डे। माइक कट आइए पहले मैं मैसेज करूँगा।
Just 1 second. You had a nice beginning.
Yeah. Well, your name and where
Mine, I look at the camera, not at you. Camera. My name is Günter Colonia. I'm from Italy. I represent Associazione Italia Tibet, Italian Tibet Support Group. One of the historical Tibet support group. We've been around since 1988. So we have 38 years of support of the Tibetan government in exile and the Tibetan people.
With what message you have come here today?
Actually, we have had a international meeting of Tibet support groups the last 3 days. This is the year of the 90th birthday of His Holiness, the Year of Compassion. So they organized this meeting, and there are representatives here of Tibet support groups from all over the world, from Asia, from Latin America, North America, Europe, Australia. So we are here to speak how to continue supporting the Tibetan people and how we can contribute in our own way, in our countries, to the resolution of the Sino-Tibetan conflict.
Since this is the National Uprising Day today,
yes,
so what message you want to convey to China?
That Tibet is strong, the Tibetan spirit is indomitable, and it would be in the best interest of the government of China to find a peaceful solution through dialogue with the Tibetan people. The Tibetan people are ready. Now it's China's turn to find a solution, and it will be for the benefit of both sides. This is a win-win proposition.
This is the National Uprising Day today.
Yeah.
How are you commemorating?
Oh, very emotional because we are really 67 years we have been asking and manifestation and some solution between the Chinese government and Tibetan government in exile, but so far not. Anyway, we are commemorating, and sure, there are so many delegations from many countries who support us, and today is a big day for Tibetans and friends of Tibet.
Any message for China today?
Yeah, China says that, okay, we Tibetans are not alone. We are, we have a truth, and we are fighting for the human right and the dignity and the humanity for the peace. And we are following His Holiness Dalai Lama's guidance. So, China be open-minded, and your power won't last forever. Everything is permanent. So, change is good, change positive. So, okay, China, we are not alone. His Holiness is also 90 years old, but he have a lot of strength, and he will continue working for the world peace. China, for Tibet, we need to live together. Okay, respect us. Thank you.
Just for recall your name and where you live.
Yeah, Thupten Wangchen, member of Tibetan Parliament in exile. Yeah.
Hello.
This is a day for Tibetans. It's their National Uprising Day.
Yes.
So why are you here today?
No, we are in fact, I'm, as you know that I am leading the Indian Tibet support groups in India. There, and then we are here, in fact, initially we are here for the Special International Tibet Support Group conference here. So in that connection, since this is also related to the, the independence of Tibet, and then all the atrocities and then the human rights violation has been still continuing with the PRC. So we are all here gathered today to raise our voice and tell them that, the Tibet issue is still alive, and till it will remain to be alive till we get the independence of Tibet. That is how we are fighting.
Are you hopeful that China will listen to your voice?
No, we are building the international, the international voice, and people's voice is the top in the world. If there are the people, so we are now trying to gather the opinion of the people, their opinions, we feel support and everything, and we are getting very good support. And once now the people support, and slowly the government will have to, they agree to the people's wishes. So once that is done, so we are very hopeful that Tibet will get this independence. Yes.
Just for recall your name also.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
खुशी खुशी रहना
Excuse me. जी आप कहाँ से एएनआई से और पीटीआई से हरविंदर से जो जब आएगी ना हाँ मैं सर वहाँ से ठीक है अब नहीं तो आप पहले ऊपर से कर सकते हैं पहले आगे से ना आगे से लेके ना थोड़ा साइड से लेके आप हैंडी है ना वहाँ साइड से लेके ना गेट से आएगा अच्छा साइड से लेके आओ फिर साइड से थोड़ा आगे आ जाओ ये भीड़ हो जाएगा
동 젠동기 회당 부미 루동 미나웨 야담제 여베 동랑예베 공전ring 루라 탐베 야나 마숑기 더기 느주 니가 짜도 동유 내주 람롱 도사식 예네 메 베디 나가문에 야나게 차셰 멤버 야 공전기 전송제베 계급지 임바당 베기 내든디 야나기 낭시기 내든 마이버 탁 추메베 계시 내든시 임바 아리슝기 템베 세다나웨 베게 간요 세답라 꾸데기 팀이기 세대나 여바당 계외 양시 콜라 야나 슝기 슈루기 남수당 첩시기 상주 옐버 돌때 차게 숨 함도 제벌 계지 지존에 팀이당 저주 락담소 야다 숨주 섭시점 빼대 응레메베 랑쇼 세대 낭 연ang 야슝기 무투 소수 연주대 야나낭 hö당 hö낭 야나낭당 hö낭 지자당 랭군 드라미 페시바 마세 야나슝기 공주 제베 벤젠 겐젠 누부 세와당 라더 레송 꾸주 제대 손두당 땀시기 탑된 드라미 편시바 대리 다다당 마음베 내가 강도왕 수강기 응원의 맹해이 다들 신호 공수장군 정보 저 구지샵에 깨졌den지 랍체 제쿠르 시단 제베 시공 타다 승기 두바다 포단 포달러 샵소르 코데 시제 표미남 춘조르 대게 빼라 르웨 계산 뉴르도샤웨 mendunche 가샤키 The statement of the Kashak on the 67th anniversary of the Tibetan National Uprising Day. Today marks the 67th anniversary of the 1959 Tibetan National Uprising, when Tibetans from all three provinces, monastics and lay people alike, rose in unison with indomitable courage in Tibet's capital, Lhasa. To protest the illegal invasion by the People's Republic of China, and to safeguard the person of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama from imminent threat. On this solemn occasion, the Kashak pays its deepest tribute to all the martyrs who made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of Tibet, its faith, and its people, and stands in unwavering solidarity with our brothers and sisters inside Tibet, whose resolve to preserve our distinct national identity remains unyielding as Mount Meru, even in the face of relentless oppression by the government of People's Republic of China. Today, this year, we celebrated His Holiness' 90th birthday, and we celebrate the whole year as the Year of Compassion. And as part of those celebrations, we have been inviting quite a number of distinguished guests from all parts of the world, starting from July last year, organized by the Department of Information and International Relations and the offices of Tibet around the world. And today, we have Michael Brandt, who is an old friend. He was here in Dharamshala last year 2 times. And this time when I was in the United States, I was receiving this call that he wants to come for 10th March. Then I asked him, you were there 2 times last year, so why you decided to come for this 10th March? And he said, don't you think a sitting Secretary of State of the German government to attend the 10th March program would be a good idea? Then I said, there's no argument, please do come. So thank you for being here. Nikal is a Secretary of State in Germany, is like Deputy Minister here in India. So he's in the government, but still representing his support for Tibet here. Thank you again. And then we have Dr. Penpa Tsering, who have been with the Tibetans for a very long time. He was the President of European Parliament, And when he was the President of European Parliament, His Holiness used to visit, and this morning also we had a very good audience with all the guests with His Holiness. Thank you again, Mr. Tsering, for coming 2 years ago and also addressing the International Tibet Support Group the last time, and this time coming for the 10th March program. And then my old friend, no, he's not so old, he's my friend, Yizi Ofalza. He's the Vice President of the Czech Senate, and he has been visiting us almost every year. Last December, we had another official Czech Senate delegation on His Holiness receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. And this time, Yizi, along with another Yizi, Senator Yizi Dušek, is also here from Czech Republic. And we all know President Václav Havel was the first president, a sitting president, to invite His Holiness to the Czech Republic. And President Peter Pavel, the sitting president of Czech Republic, was a sitting president who came all the way to India to meet with His Holiness last July in Ladakh. So we enjoy a very strong relationship with Czech Republic and with its government. Then Dr. Hans-Gert Pöttering, of course we have from our Member of Parliament from Latvia. Juris Willems have been associated for Tibet in Latvia for many years. Of course, as we all know, His Holiness used to travel to Riga almost every year to give teachings, Buddhist teachings in Riga, in Latvia. And they have been very fortunate to meet with His Holiness that many times and been supportive. They have also suffered the same fate as we did, so they have the experience of having gone through communism. And then one of our very old and dear friends, Dr. Indresh Kumarji. I personally have known him since 2002, but he has been associated with CTA and the Tibet cause for many more years, more than that. And he established Bharat Tibet Sahayog Manch, Himalaya Parivar, and all these organizations who are still very active in. Then may I also welcome Dr. Wibke Winter, member of Legislative Assembly from Germany. She's a young politician, a bright politician, and she's traveling here to Dharamshala for the first time. This is her first experience being with a large Tibetan community. Welcome, Dr. Webka. So Dr. Pöttering is also accompanied by Dr. Adrian Huck, who is the director of Conrad International, sitting somewhere. And then Michael, we have Elima Ham, staff of ICT Germany, Michelle Gass, assistant, Kai Müller, executive director, Brian Joseph from National Endowment for Democracy, and Pema Tulosang. Then we have Yanis, of course, they are also part of the 32 Tibet support group. Miss Cheng Lai is sitting somewhere. Oh, can you please stand up for people to see who you are? Yeah. Cheng Lai visited China and she got arrested by the Chinese authorities, and this became a big diplomatic issue between the People's Republic of China and the Australian government. Finally, she did manage to come out of China, but now she cannot go back. But fortunately, we have her as a guest for the 10th March ceremony. Thank you for coming. And also from Australia, Dr. Badio Chow, political cartoonist and human rights activist, Chinese activist. He's also. He looks a little bit like Ai Weiwei because he also follows Ai Weiwei. There. Yeah. Miss Alais Parma. She's also coming for the first time, and it was quite a surprise because she decided at the last minute to come. We are really looking forward to work with her in Italy. She's also a member of the state parliament in Italy. And her partner, Mr. Osano Matteo. And we have, among Indian friends, I can't name everybody, but we have Dr. Professor Anand Kumar, Vijay Kranti, Surendra Kumar. Yeah. So we have many Indian friends who are part of the special international, from all parts of India. And we also have Senator Rice, here on my left. She is still very active in Australian politics and keeps supporting the Tibet, the cause of Tibet in Australia. And she has been there for us for a very long time. Thank you all very much. If I have, and Indresh Kumarji is also accompanied by Mr. Om Prakash. So if I've left any names, I'm sorry, because there are too many names to be named. So please pardon me. So I'll continue with the Kashak speech. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here with us. Last year, in conjunction with the auspicious celebration of the 90th birthday of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the Kashak launched the Year of Compassion. Through this continued observance, we seek to extend to the global family His Holiness' profound treatises on compassion and foster its spirit while cultivating the wisdom to attain happiness and alleviate the sufferings of all sentient beings. This initiative seeks, to the fullest extent of our ability, to share His Holiness' sacred counsel in fulfilling humanity's shared aspiration for the physical world to abide in the elemental balance and for sentient beings in its essence to remain in tranquility and peace. One thing in which we can firmly anchor our trust and conviction is His Holiness' profound treatises on compassion. As Jamgon Mipham explains in his commentary on the words of Chandra, the power of compassion lies in never abandoning the endeavor to protect all sentient beings. Thus, His Holiness' all-encompassing compassion and unyielding commitment to the welfare of all will sooner or later pacify the hostility and the malice of the PRC government and its leaders and guide them towards friendship. At present, the government of the People's Republic of China is falsely asserting that Tibet and all non-Han nationalities are part of the constructed Songhua Minzu. It is mobilizing under the proclaimed mandate of forging a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation, the full machinery of the state to carry out the expansive and deeply entrenched policies within Tibet aimed at eradicating both Tibet's physical environment and its people's distinct national identity. Specifically, around 1 million Tibetan children have been forcibly placed on colonial boarding schools where the teaching of the Tibetan language and the transmission of Tibetan culture are severely restricted. Within these institutions, Tibetan children are subjected to intensive political indoctrination under Communist Party ideology. The United Nations, the United States, the European Union, and the leading international research institutions have recognized this policy as a form of forced assimilation and a systematic effort to erode Tibetan national identity. The PRC government is executing large-scale forced relocation of labor transfer targeting Tibetan farmers and nomads through programs such as Training and Labor Transfer Action Plan. A joint statement released by a group of UN experts on 22nd January 2026 reveals that between 2000 and 2025, some 3.36 million Tibetans, nearly half of the total population, have been affected by these programs. In further highlighting the severity of these state-led efforts, noting that in many cases the coercive elements are so severe that they may amount to forcible transfer and or enslavement as crimes against humanity. C. The United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, in its 2025 report, stated that the PRC government's implementation of the policy of Sinicization of Tibetan Buddhism represents a systematic pattern of repression that fully meets the definition of cultural genocide. D. Currently, the PRC government is deliberately and increasingly misinterpreting its own constitution and through administrative orders and subordinate regulations, implementing sweeping measures that roll back and effectively nullify the rights of nationalities guaranteed under the Constitution and the law on regional national autonomy. E. Against the backdrop of the global warming, the Chinese government's reckless infrastructure development and large-scale resource mining projects have caused temperatures on the Tibetan plateau to rise at 3 times the global average. The Methok hydropower project launched last year alongside hydropower projects on major and mid-sized rivers and the blanketing of vast landscapes with solar arrays not only devastates the ecosystem of the Tibetan plateau, but continues to pose a direct threat to the water security of the Asian continent. Coupled with these projects, the settlement of millions of Han Chinese in Tibetan areas and the forcible relocation of Tibetans resulting from these projects will undeniably threaten the survival of their distinct identity and the sustainability of their livelihoods. F. In brief, the United Nations and the international community have determined that the policies currently being implemented in Tibet by the People's Republic of China's Communist government, as outlined above, meet the criteria defined in Article 2 of the United Nations Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, which entered into force on 12 January 1951. And consequently, it's imperative that the prosecution be pursued in accordance with the provisions of Article 3 of the Convention. Meanwhile, it has become a routine practice for the Chinese government to arrest, detain, and imprison those who refuse to comply with or who protest against their genocidal policies. Nevertheless, it can reasonably be foreseen that the policies pursued by the leaders of the government of People's Republic of China, employing centuries-old colonialist tradition to annihilate both the environment and the people of Tibet, will ultimately fail. Since countless eons, the reckless devastation of the Tibetan Plateau, a strategic geopolitical region also known as the water tower of Asia, does not merely impact the 2 billion people who depend on Tibet's rivers, but also threatens the interests of the entire world in a collective, does not affect only Asia, but also